Hi guys, so today I have another set to share with you from Diamond Press. It is available on HSN and there's a couple things here. I know the basic, the main set is available, but there will be refills, so we'll talk about that in a minute. But it is to make an interactive card again with the kind of flyer technique. Let me open this one up. It's called Diamond Press Ladybug Flyer Card Making Dies and Stamps. Of course, that's what it says on the label. Sometimes HSN will have it listed differently, but either way, I'll have the links in the description box there for you guys. So these items were sent free of charge for my review, and of course all opinions are my own, and the links I just mentioned will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. And as always, those are in the description box with any YouTube video. If any YouTuber or anybody says they have, you know, a recipe or a link or however in the description box, it's just underneath here, and I get that question quite often. So it's just under the title of the video. You can click on the title, you can click on the show more, you can click on maybe it's a little triangle. There's different ways depending on how you're watching. So you can open that up. Let's see here. Okay, so, oh, so sweet. So we have the little ladybug that's going to be the interactive flyer, like I said. And, you know, we've made these in the past with the bats and the butterflies. And so basically you have a couple of pieces that are the mechanism, a rubber band, and then the little pretty pieces here that will make your little ladybug flyer. And then we have the stamps and dies that help you embellish your cards. So if you want to just pop it in any card, super sweet. Any spring card, I think you can just pop that in there. But you can also decorate and make your own card with what's in the kit here. So they're showing you a little bit about that there. Look at that little dies. So cute. Okay. So I rolled up my sleeves and I pull them down because it's cold. I don't know. I'll leave them rolled up for now. Let's see here. Oh, look at the little words Ladybug. Like, it's very kind of like childlike. So we have the cutting folder. Again, this is for the marquee. If you don't own a marquee, you can run these dies through any machine that cuts thin metal dies, and I get that question often, so I like to let you guys know in pretty much every video if I can recall to say that. Oh, look at this. Oh my gosh, wow. Let me give you a measurement on that one just so you can kind of have an idea of how big these stamps are. This is like 3.5 inches across. So it's going to make a big statement on your card front, and then you have your little almost 3-inch, or yeah, 3-inch stem. You have this little leaf. Oh, the little center for your flower, or stamens, or whatever it is that you want to call them. And then we have the little flower there, and a little ladybug, and there's a few little ladybugs. This one's a little bit smaller. This guy's on side view. Feel better, happy birthday, hugs and kisses, thinking of you, thanks, love, you're cute as a, and then hey, and then there's like little lines that make it look he was moving along, or she there with the little flower. And then there's dies for all the ladybugs, for the little sprig. And then the flowers and the words Ladybug are on there. So cute. I'm already thinking a lot of course, red and black and those kind of things. But white, I think, is always fun to play with something like this, so we'll see. So these are the mechanism pieces that I was speaking of. One looks like a little hanger. I don't know if you can see that. The little top looks like a hanger. And then the other piece is like a long rectangular piece with like a little end for his little end of the tail. And then these guys, there's rubber bands. And then these. So these are what you do or you put together to make your little guy. We'll probably put this together towards the end so we have our card, and then we'll just pop it in there ready to go. But I do want to mention, and so I don't forget later, when you're opening these up, they're pretty thin so they can take flight and everything, but so when you're getting them, just make sure, like this one feels like one piece because the way it's moving, and you can even mess with it and it's not doing anything. Just really open it up because you'll have a couple of them stuck together, so you don't end up putting 2 on or something, or 3 when it should be just the 1. So if it feels a little thicker than like this, just make sure you have 1. Like, see, there you go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is grab some paper so we can make our card base, and then we will create our little flyer. And this is actually a refill set. Like I said, right now for sure they have the Ladybug, this initial set on HSN, but they should have refills soon, and the refills are there. And you know what? Does it say how many? It doesn't say how many, but they're usually, I think, in pairs of like 20s, but you know, I'll double check on that for you guys. It'll be in the description box, the info as far as that, okay? Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I took one piece out just to have everything ready. So from each little package, you saw there were 4 packages, you're going to take one piece, okay, because you need the left and rights of the wings and the little, I guess, headpiece on this one, right? Because the wings are the body. Okay, so I have my stamping press here. And so what I'm going to do is make a background. I just have this piece of paper that I've cut into before. And I also want to die cut this, I think, as a topper. So I'm just going to make like a scene, and then we'll go from there. Sorry, it's a little dark this morning. Just trying to play with the light there a little bit. Okay, so I want to, like I said, build up a background, and then I'm going to die cut it. So I'm going to give myself plenty of room because I don't really know what the die cut's going to look like or where it's going to go. And, you know, I put that going that way. And then we have, oh, yeah, okay, that's what I'll do. So I'm going to put my flower facing this way. It's a big boy. Give me some room, because like I said, I want to die cut it. I don't know where the die is going to hit, so let's put this like down here somewhere. Okay. And, oh, let's go ahead and pick it up. Oopsie. Do not need a hot glue gun. It'll be there. Okay. And since this is a really big kind of surface stamp, I want to squeeze out the air. And if I have to stamp it a few times, that's pretty much why I'm using a stamping press. I can do that. If you have air bubbles, it'll make it a little more difficult to stamp because it just won't touch the surface, you know? Okay, so I think I'm going to start with like this light pink. I cut all my nails off, so I can't use them as tools right now. Can't gouge so well. Sorry, it's tapping the thing as I'm doing this. Oh, you know what? I can show you guys a little trick. Okay, right now I'm tapping, 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 so it leaves it the way it is. But if you streak it like this, you'll have texture that's like streaks. If you want to do that, you don't have to. It just gives it a different texture. Let's see what that looks like. Oh. Where is this? Okay, I gotta use this quick. And interesting enough, when you're looking down, you can kind of see like when something's not quite touching the area you need it to push down. You can kind of see that. I don't know how to explain it. But I can see in that middle part it wasn't touching, and so I just went over a little bit more. And I don't know if you can see, this has like texture to it now. Just an old trick, if you would like to try that out. And then I'm going to use this little guy, and I think that's good. I'm not going to do another coat because that's plenty good there. And then we need the center. Actually, you know what, let me do the green part, and then I'll do the center. This little guy here. This is such a nice size. Really nice and sizable there for your projects. I think I'm going to use the same green even if I do the little sprig of green later, so I'm just going to use this green. And I'm just going to tap, tap, tap this one, but if you want to give that texture too, you just streak it the same way I was talking about earlier. And if you saw, all I did was just lay it down where I can see that it's touching that area that I need it to touch. Aww. And that's plenty nice coverage there. I'm going to clean those off in just a minute. And then I'm going to keep this green out because I am going to use it again. And then this darker pink for this little guy. This is not marker paper, at least I don't think it is. So I'm going to grab marker paper for when I stamp my little ladybug. So I'm just putting this right in that same area. Just right above that little green area. And I'm going to go with... Oh, I was like, where'd that ink come from? The ink I just inked up the green. This darker color. Oh, so cute. I suppose if you wanted to, this is a really nice big image. If you want to do like yellow or some other orange color in certain spots, you can definitely do that. Oh, look at that sweetie. Love it. One other thing I'll do is I'll go ahead and stamp a sprig. I think I'm only going to need one sprig. So since we're here, I'll move this. And then once I know what I want to do, I'll stamp like the sentiment there. But for now, I'll just stamp a little sprig like down here somewhere where I know. I wonder if I should put texture on that one too, just for fun. So the green, I don't know if you can see where it's at, but green, 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 and then I'm going to streak it like this to get that texture I was talking about. Actually, I'm going to go back this way and make sure I got it on the front. Just a little something different, since we are just kind of stamping flat. So that one has that little texture too. Alright, let me clean these guys up and I'll be right back, guys. So in the meantime, I went ahead and found some dies I would like to use. So these nesting kind of oval dies, and I think what I'm going to do is cut this in here. So I'm going to have that little sprig. I'm going to want more of the flower. And then we have that little sprig that we can add, and then we'll have our like ladybug crawling on that, I think is what it'll be, what I want to do. So I'm just trying to get as much of this, most of the flower, a little bit of that leaf there. I think that's good right there. So again, that's why I wasn't really sure, so I gave myself plenty of room. And I guess if I wanted to, I could even tilt this more, like this way. And then, you know, when it's actually cut, it's going to look something like that. Huh. Let's do that. A little different angle. And then this one, I'm going to cut from black paper. And I'm just going to put this on a standard A2 size card, I think. Well, actually, let me check and see. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. Black paper, and then just really mat this outer side so it's a little bit smaller than the standard A2 size, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I'm going to cut this down to like 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Okay, I'll run these through and I'll be right back. Okay. Excuse me. So I have these pieces. Oh, that's so sweet. So I have this. I am actually going to run this through an embossing folder just to give it some texture. Why not? It's in the background. That'll be lovely. Oh, interesting. I don't know. Well, I'll just choose one and then just run it through just to give a little extra texture, you know, on that background piece. So we will do that. And I'll be right back. So I chose this one here to roll it through. So I'm just going to glue that down, make sure this is opening. So I'm going to glue this down. I have that little kind of doily lace in the background. And then we're going to, of course, have this guy and this guy on top. I'm not going to glue that down quite yet because I do want to do some stamping on that, so I'll do that in just a moment. Okay, guys, so I'll just put these pieces to the side for now because, like I said, I'm not quite ready to build them up. And then I'm going to use this little sideways guy because what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut this out with the die and then have him kind of crawling on it, I think. So let's see. You can see it through there pretty well. So I've just taped that down and run it through. I showed you the aperture trick a few times, so if you think you want to make sure exactly where you're cutting, you can just make yourself a little aperture and that'll help you kind of place your die. So I will run that through in a minute. And then for now, I'm just going to stamp this little guy. I'm going to use some black ink. And then I'll let that dry. And I'm just going to come in with some red alcohol ink marker and just color it in. Very basic. And I'll be right back. Pieces here. So I mean, this was as easy as just taking the lightest one, going around, like I leave that center open as you saw, bring in some dark, blend in with the medium, and then go over the whole thing with the light again, so it just has like little shininess there. And then we have our little leaf. Okay. And so I did take the time when I was waiting for that ink to dry. I just glued these two together and I glued that down. So this is going to be on here. And then we have this little guy, maybe going like this or something. And then this little guy crawling along that little guy. Okay. So I would like to get my You're Cute as a, and then we can do Bug or Ladybug or however. Happy birthday, lady. Hugs and kisses. You know, thanks, lady. Thinking of you. There's lots of different ways to play with this. Hey, lady. Oh. Oh, man. Let's do... I like all of them. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me choose, think about it for a minute and I'll be really drawn to this one just because of the way it's curled like this, or curved, and have that curve of the oval. So I'm just going to put Thinking of You. You know, if you want to say lady, you have these different words you can play with, and you would cut them out and then just glue down whatever lettering you want to use there. I just really like the way that curve really kind of goes in there, you know? That's what I want to do. So let me pick that straight up and bring my press back. And I'm just going to stamp that in black ink, really nice and stark. I can remove these guys. Oopsie. There we go. And sorry, just looking for this ink here. Some thick and juicy VersaFine ink on that. Oh, you know what? I can feel already that I have too many magnets right here. These two were stacked up on top of each other. I hope that didn't move anything. Really nice right there. Okay. Okay, let me clean this up and I'll be right back. And brought it back here. So it's a little off kilter, and I think that's fun because the whole ladybug feel and just kind of, you know, playful. Now, again, we can pop this up and then pop her up. I'm going to put this down flat. And maybe, you know, if I had a moment to wait, I would do a little 3D glue gel. That way I can kind of play with the height of what this would be instead of just like a dimensional foam that's going to keep it a certain height. And I would make this a little bit flatter, a little bit lower than this part with our little ladybug popping up, you know? So, just an idea. But for now, I'm just going to glue it straight down. And then I'm going to glue this down too. Just kind of in here. Maybe I'll give it a little bit of movement. Not really completely stick that down. And then this little guy can pop up. Some foam adhesive. And then we'll make our little flyer. Now, I know I put the sentiment Thinking of You, so it's kind of usually for maybe occasions a little more solemn, or maybe they're not feeling well, and then, you know, we're going to have something flying out of here. But I like that for this card, but I'm still going to show you the mechanism, because again, you can play with this set however it is that you would like. Where do I want to put her? Like kind of precarious over here on the end? Maybe. Oh, little sweetie. Really sweet. I love that red and black and white. Great color combo. Oh, actually, I'm going to need this glue in a minute. So let me clean up and then I'll assemble our little flyer. I'm going to lay them out like they're showing in the picture just so we can all be on the same page. And this one goes down this way, making sure you only have one layer. And it says choose 2 green tops and the red bottom wings. Apply adhesive to back side of wings as shown. So we're going to flip these over in B. I'm just turning them over, but they have them shown a little bit different. Either way, it's fine. Actually, let's go ahead and flip them over so it looks like what they're showing. That way we don't get confused. So it's just like they're showing here. And basically this guy's going to be glued in to these guys, and they're going to be kind of like in this direction, right? So I'm going to use a wet glue because that's what I prefer. And all we're going to do is take one, and there's like a little score line there, and you're just going to wrap it around. There's a little bit of like where this plastic ends. I don't know if you can see it. There's like a little notch there. That's usually where I line mine up to, and I don't know. That's just what I've been doing. So I'll do that. Fold that over. And if you turn this around, you're going to see that the little guy's there. So cute. Okay, we do have to wait for it to glue, to dry. So I'll do the same thing with this other guy. Put glue all around this. Like I said, I usually just notch it in there. I don't know why it's easier for me to work with things like up in the air, but if you need to hold it down, you can just hold it down. And so I'm gonna wait for this to dry and set up, and then so I'm holding it, and then I'll move on to the little bottom part. Okay, so I took a little bit longer. This glue is a little bit different than the glue I normally use. And then this guy goes down here. Again, little tail coming down here. Same thing. We're just gonna put glue on this tab. I put, you know, quite a bit. And this one also has like little notches there, and that's where I kind of place this. So over and then over on this side, and hold it down. So again, oh, so cute. So this one's a little bit thicker. I'm going to hold it for a second. I'm going to do the same thing for this one. I'll put glue on here, that little tab, and just slide it in this way and fold it over on this opposite side. Okay, same as I did on the left here. Okay guys, my glue's still a little bit wet, but we're going to move forward. So all we're going to do is, like they're showing in C, is just to bring this in here. Let me see. Just pop that right in there. Okay. And then this is to just turn it over, but I mean either way, we're just going to put this in here to spin around. So we're going to catch that on there. And then you're supposed to add this and double it over. So for me it's easier to go ahead and twist it. Just give it a twist and make it two doubled over already before I go to do this. And that's just how I do it. And then you're just going to catch it in here. So if that's catching on the bottom one first, the top one, I'm just pushing these two kind of through here. And if you need like a pokey tool or something to help you, I'm just catching it on this back side so I can pull it in. And that's it. It just kind of clicks in there, right? And I did that side first because it's easy to come over here, and then this one has a little bit of give and you can turn it, and now I can catch it on the top. Okay, and what you're going to do is twisty turn this a whole lot of times so that when you put it in your card, it flies around, right? So let's hold that and twisty, twisty, twisty turn. And it says, you know, actually does it say in there how many times? Probably back here. Twist top of the ladybug about 25 times so that the rubber band is twisted, and I'm just twisting it a whole bunch. I didn't count. But I'll leave her like this. Aww, her little wings. And then you're going to place it in your card, and then place it in the envelope, of course. And that's what they're talking about there. So you just put that in there, put this little guy in here. Alright, and then put it in your envelope, of course, this side facing out. So as soon as they pull it open and they say, oh, you know, okay, thinking of you. Oh, that was really sweet. Honestly, to me, it's not like a shock. You know, she just floats out really nicely. So anyhow, so if you want to do thinking of you and still include a little something to pop out, I think it'll be sweet. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Thank you so much, Die Press, for sending these items for review. I'll have the links in the description box, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye now.